me clearly. America is not a racist country.
I tell you what, you can find a lot of goofy ass pictures of Tim Scott. There is definitely no shortage of those pictures out here. Well, he went to say something dumb as usual. I mean, oh boy. Well, I want to thank one of my subscribers, Justice the Truth, for this story. Oh boy. Senator Tim Scott compares prejudiced Donald Trump trial to anti black injustice in the court system. There is no comparison to the financial crimes that Donald Trump has committed to black injustice in the court system. There are no comparisons whatsoever. One has nothing to do with the other. And you being a lawmaker, Tim Scott, why haven't you done anything about anti black injustice in the court system since you know it does exist and you're a lawmaker? What are you doing to change that? That's what I would like to know. Well, I guess he's trying to ride the coattails of what Donald Trump said, that black people feel he's being discriminated against, which I have never come across one that have said that. And, and because of his indictment, people from the black community, I guess, are sympathizing with him. That would only be true if we're all in the court system, Donald Trump, and the vast majority of us are not. Nice try, though. So, anyway, wow. Tim Scott cheers on Republican presidential candidate, former President Donald Trump, speaks during an election night watch party at the state fairgrounds on February 24th, 2024, in Columbia, South Carolina. The only reason many people know the name Senator Tim Scott is that the South Carolina GOP is the only black senator, also the only black senator in the state's 225-year history of having senators, has dedicated his political platform to declaring that America is not a racist country. Yeah, that's true. And denying the existence of systemic racism. Data be damned. Why then does Scott always seem to invoke systemic anti black racism whenever he needs? I guess if it is to compare it to a white person that's going through something in the legal system, then that's the only time racism in the black community exists. But any other time to Tim Scott, it does not. It doesn't. On Tuesday, Scott sat down for an interview with Breitbart News. Well, there go your problem right there, Tim. During which he cried orangey white tears on the behalf of the ex president Donald Trump, who just attended the second day of his criminal trial in Manhattan, where he faces 34 felony counts of allegedly falsifying business documents to cover up payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Scott, who just can't seem to stop himself from publicly gushing over the commander in criminal indictments, claim the prejudiced trial against Trump wouldn't be happening if he weren't running for president. Then Scott pivoted to an erroneous hypothetical about a thing he has claimed doesn't exist in reality: a black person being treated unfairly in court. Okay, so how can a black person be treated unfairly in court, and then you turn around and say America is not a racist country? Okay. Mm-mm-mm. So, Tim Scott, you know what? I'm going to put this on the screen for y'all. You got to see this. Okay, so Tim Scott posted this on X April 16th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. So at the very top, you can see where he wrote, "Imagine if this was not about the red party versus the blue party. Imagine that this was a racial issue." Well, if America is not a racist country, then why would we have to imagine something being a racial issue? So then he goes on and says, put a black person in the position where the legal system is coming after them because of the color of their skin and because of what they represent for hope in America. Is this dude for real? He contradicts himself. You know, he this dude is a walking contradiction for real. Wow. I don't know. Maybe he's, you know, how you have driving Mrs. Daisy. Maybe he's auditioning for driving Donald Trump, you know? Wow. This man is a mess. Wow. Okay, so let's go on. If a person want to believe Donald Trump is being charged with crimes in New York and elsewhere is only happening as a political strategy to sabotage his latest presidential bid, then that's what they're going to believe. By making this argument, Scott is simply doing his job as a Republican during an election year. However, by making this absurd comparison to anti Black racism in the courtroom, a thing that has been thoroughly documented throughout the nation's history, Scott is playing a role reserved for all of the GOP's prominent Black friends, which is to pretend to be Republican conservative bridge to Black America. But Donald Trump is a white man. Okay. He's a white man. Even on trial, he's still a white man with privilege. He still is. Okay. That is certainly not the same for people in the Black community. So, no, there is no comparison to why Donald Trump is on trial to what happens to Black men and women in your rigged up court system. There is no comparison. There is no comparison. So, Donald Trump, even in all his criminal activity and court cases and everything, he is still privileged, y'all. He is still privileged. All right. So I guess this is the new narrative Black conservatives are trying to run with. I would strongly advise you not to run with this one. Seriously. Donald Trump is not being treated like a Black man up in the courtroom. He is being treated like a privileged man. This is why he is still free. He has 90, what? They took 3 indictments away. So he's got 88 indictments and he's still walking free. We got black men and women sitting behind bars that don't even have one indictment. Okay. And they are sitting there behind bars. We got people in our community in jail and no crime was ever committed. Those things have never happened to Donald Trump. And you could rest assured it never will. It never will. Donald Trump won't be accused of any crime he didn't commit. Everything he's being accused of, you can best believe Donald Trump did it. Y'all, you're going to have to tell me what you think about what Tim Scott is trying to pull. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.